How's it going today? I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can.
I think the most defensive snaps Eric Harris had ever played in the game was 2 before Sunday. How do you think he did? It seemed like he made a couple nice tackles.
Yeah, he did very well. I think we talked about him emerging in the off-season program, and he steadily has really earned the right to play. He got hurt in training camp, hurt that finger, missed a couple weeks, but not only did he flash, he's consistently flashed and really has earned the right to play more and more.
You got to coach against Frank Gore years ago when you were last coaching. He's still around. What do you see from him? And it's surprising that he's still going strong.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. He has been able to adapt and prove that he can play in any offense. You know, he's been one of the great two-back eye runners that I've seen in my time as a coach. And then Alex Smith came along, and they morphed into a shotgun operation. He played with Kaepernick. He proved he could play in that style of offense, and did some really good things quietly in Indianapolis, I think. And it's really cool to see him back in Miami where it all started.
Coach, Miami's done a really good job of kind of spreading the ball around their offense. The first 2 weeks don't really have one or two guys got to key into. Does that make things more difficult when you game plan against a team like that?
Yeah, it makes it tough. They're a spread operation. They spread the field, and they have a lot of RPOs, a lot of running plays with built-in pass options, and they'll throw the ball to anybody. And Tannehill is as viable a ball carrier as Frank Gore is. You got to account for him. And Kenyon Drake is capable of making big runs. So they've got different styles of runners. They have a unique running game that's wide open. A lot of their passes are on running plays where they're throwing the built-in RPOs. So we got to defend the entire width of the field, and they have Kenny Stills and Parker, two guys that make you defend the field vertically. That's what Adam Gase's system does. It's tough.
Gase was saying that Tannehill actually may have benefited from being out last year, and that he was around the team at every single meeting and took a step back and was looking at things a little bit differently than he ever had before. Can you kind of see that in his play at all?
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. He's only played a couple games. But, I was there in Miami last year and witnessed it. He was a lot of guys get hurt, they disappear from the scene, they go home, they rehab privately. But he was involved in the quarterback meetings. He was a coach on the field, and it's a credit to him. And I think you do benefit by watching and observing the good things that happen, the bad things that happen. And he's a veteran quarterback now. He's been in this system. I think he has a clear understanding of what his objective is, and they're 2-0 in a large part because of his play.
You made some strides last week. What's the next step for the offense?
Well, I was really pleased with what we did. Started the game in both halves very well. We just got to keep getting better in all areas. We got to keep getting better in all areas, and hopefully, we get some turnovers, we get some better field position, and some more opportunities. I think that's important, and you got to finish some drives. Play calling would help.
I think after the game, you said you thought that Derek could have completed every one of his throws. After going back and looking at it, what was just your overall impression of his performance?
He made some great audibles in the game. He recognized some looks. He helped us getting in the right play. He helped the protection by fixing some things up front. He benefited, too, I think he would tell you, from some really good play around him. We were able to pass protect for the most part at a high level. Guys ran great routes. Amari was outstanding in the game. And the combination of Derek's, performing at a high level and those around him, I think. And we ran the ball and stayed in some third down and regular situations. We weren't 2nd and 20. We didn't have a lot of penalties and behind in the chains against a team like that in the noise.
Through a couple of weeks, he has gotten the ball out very quickly, and a lot of the attempts have been fairly close to the line of scrimmage. Is that what you wanted to see so far? And do you see that opening up as the season goes on?
Well, I just want to be productive when we throw it. I think Cook averaged 20 yards a catch in the first game. Throwing the ball on time and accurate is a big part of winning football. We hope to get more big chunk plays. We're making an attempt to do that, and I think you'll see some more of that hopefully as the year unfolds.
Between Derek's adjustments pre-snap and protection, and also the quick release, how much is Derek, in some sense, his best protection when it comes to staying upright?
I think if you go around the league, I don't have the official stats, but a lot of balls are complete, within 10 to 12 yards of the line of scrimmage. And the great quarterbacks protect themselves as much as some of the protection protects them. They don't hold the ball a significant amount of time. They have a feel for pressure. They avoid the catastrophic plays. And he's got a good feel back there for pressure. He's got a good feel for when to let it go and when to hold on to it. And that comes with playing experience.
The pass rush was better in week two, but I'm sure you feel like you can generate more. How much of that do you think you can do with scheme, and how much is guys just becoming more comfortable in the whole system?
I think it's a combination of those two things. Honestly, we're hoping we can get the opponent behind in the down and distance. You can ask any team in the league when you have a number of opportunities at bats when it's 2nd and 12 or 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 8. That certainly helps. But blitzing could be a part of it. Winning your one-on-ones is a big part of it. We just got to do it collectively, coaching and playing, and hopefully we're much better in Miami.
You guys have faced some pretty.
Thanks, Jeff. Paul didn't blitz much in Cincinnati, at least not last year. Do you want him to, stick to the system that he brought here? And I guess the other part is, do you have good blitzers here?
I think so. I think, you do what you have to do with the personnel you have to win a game. And there were years in Cincinnati when Mike Zimmer was there, they blitzed more than they did in other seasons. When you have Dunlap and you have Geno Atkins and others, sometimes you don't have to blitz. You can mix coverages. And sometimes the illusion of pressure, making the other quarterback thinking you're blitzing and not blitzing, is good. We were able to get Denver in some 7-man protections and just 3-man routes. We just got to do a better job collectively no matter how we get off the field.
You guys have faced some good pass rushers first 2 weeks. What kind of challenge are Quinn and Wake on the outside?
Yeah, well, Wake has a history of being a troublesome guy, but I think a great free agent acquisition, or a trade they made, I should say, was Quinn. He raises hell off the edge. He can bend the edge. He's very athletic, plays hard. I love his motor. And it's hard to do in Miami where that heat is what it is. He's given them a lot of high-effort rushes, down in and down out. I really like the addition of Quinn. And, they've emerged, I think. They've got some young linebackers from Ohio State that are playing well. And Howard, their left corner, he's as good as we've seen so far this year.
How pleased are you the way Miller and Penn have fared the first 2 weeks in pass protection?
Yeah, pretty good. We've, like we said, we played 2 really good defenses, and we've done some really good things up front quietly.
There was, John, the reputation of big game receivers anyways, is that they're loud, flamboyant, a little bit borderline obnoxious, but when you look at your guy Amari, he's the antithesis of that. Is that something that you like about him as long as he's producing, or what do you see from him?
Coop could do whatever he wants. I'd like him.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to be around all kind of different guys, and the ones I like being around the most are the guys that can do what he did on Sunday. He had 10 official catches and 10 targets. He really was 11 for 11. I've never had that before.
Double PI.
He's a great receiver. I've said that from the beginning. He's strong, he's fast, he knows what he's doing, and he is quiet. But we are communicating better. We're getting to know each other, and I like where this relationship is heading.
There was a game in 2005 when you were with the Bucks and you faced a rookie Frank Gore. Here we are in 2018, and you're game planning for him once more. The duration of his career, the way he prepares, obviously, to be playing still. What are your thoughts about Frank Gore?
That's similar to some of the free agents that we brought here. He brings more to your team than just, running back yards, catches, blitz pickups. He brings character to your locker room, to your team. He's one of the top 5 or 6 football players that I've ever seen, and we weren't very smart for not drafting him.
Do you know yet whether you've had a real good bounce back physically from that game, or do you find that out this afternoon?
We're going to be a little bit careful today, and we'll put the pads on tomorrow. Today will be a big learning day. We've got a lot to learn in regards to Miami. We'll let the team get fresh physically, but we'll really go after them mentally and try and get them more and more reps to get them familiarized with the Dolphins.
Coach, you look around the league and a lot of teams are looking for pass rushers. Why is it so hard to find a pass rusher? What are those qualities that make it work?
It's hard to find a great one. It's hard to find a good one. It's hard to find one. You just said it. And college football now, they're they're not really dropping back to pass and throwing footballs anymore. They're throwing laterals and they're throwing bubble screens and they're running read options. So you got to train these guys. It takes a little bit of time to learn how to rush the passer, and we got some guys that are in that process right now.
Last one, Phil.
Hey, John, Jordy hasn't been super productive the first couple weeks. Is he still finding his way in the system?
Well, we're using a lot of receivers. You know, we expect to see more and more from Jordy as the weeks unfold. But Cooper had a big week last week. Cook had a big week in week 1. Hopefully Jordy has one this week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys.
Thanks.